Excuse me, were you over at Parliament Square earlier on? Did you speak to Yvonne?
I found it.
Right.
We had a chat.
Right, that's good, that's good. So I'm outside Queen Elizabeth Hall. Tonight the council are having a meeting over the child sexual exploitation report that come out, where Oldham Council have failed. They failed the victims. People within the council have signed off paedophiles to work as taxi drivers and stuff like that. And we're outside the council. And you know what? 2 victims have got in contact with me, and they just said they've just been branded as criminals, prostitutes, and druggies. That's what they both said to me, right? And these are like what, 13-year-old girls, 13-year-old girls. So we're in Oldham, my stomping ground. I only live a couple of 100 yards away from here. And we're just not having it. I mean, the least I expect is accountability. But as we know, Rotherham, Telford, Cumbria, Oxford, everywhere that goes on, there is no accountability. Who do these people think they are? If I would have been involved in something like this serious, they would have made me to account. I would have got a conviction and I would have gone to jail. And I'll be telling this to Chief Inspector Watson or Turry when I see him again, the deputy chiefs, because I'm just not having it. Not being treated like that when I haven't done nothing wrong. Who do these people think they are? I don't think any councillor will come out and talk to me. But I'm here. I'm right outside. They'll all see the stream. They'll probably see me going in. Or people see me going in. It's going to be a full public room tonight. We've been told get here early. I'm with my mum, just behind that white van there. Out for afternoon. We've had Lever's chippy for dinner. But yeah, so signing off people who are under investigation for child abuse to work in taxis. And Shabir Ahmed, as we know, worked for Oldham Welfare Services. You just couldn't make it up. And he's the biggest horrific paedophile that I've ever known. His cases don't just go, the 3 girls cases. He's abused hundreds of girls across Oldham, Manchester and Rochdale. PAG UK Billy's up with me. He's got a lot of information on it, which I've been listening to. We'll probably try and get Billy on a stream, and he'll tell you about the shady past of this Shabir Ahmed. Honestly, you just couldn't make it up. So, I mean, I want the people who signed him to be a welfare officer, I want them sacked and convicted. Don't care what colour they are, pink, blue, white, brown, pink, black, need convict him. What else do I want? I want a full investigation into all this by somebody who's not linked to the Labour Party like we have done with this investigation in Oldham. One of them's a Labour Party member, and you can't trust the Labour Party because they cover up child sexual exploitation. Honestly, it's just fucking hell. So the Rotherham now, they've done an investigation into Rotherham. There's no accountability. No one's getting convicted of anything, even though 1,510 plus girls have been abused in Rotherham. No one's getting conviction. Nobody, no police. There was 250 charges of 50 people against the police, and no one's been found guilty. Honestly, who do these people think they are? Honestly, who do they think they are? I want the chief of police in boxing ring. I'll show him what an Oldhamer's like. Fucking hell, honestly. Just cover up, but it's all fuck the paedophiles. When people say that everyone in power is a paedophile, I cannot go against them because there's so much evidence. Martin Judd, a Labour candidate in Hollingwood, hundreds of pictures of child images, and then he got acquitted. Where's all that gone? They wouldn't have charged him if they didn't have the evidence, and the guy got acquitted. Stinking Labour Party, honestly. Next year, there'll be less than 30, so they won't have control of the council, which will be a very good thing, Okay, now, honestly. I'm trying my hardest not to swear, not to threaten anybody or anything like that, but it's difficult when I've been contacted by 2 victims who've just been left. And just been branded criminals and prostitutes. That's what two girls have said to me. And I don't doubt that they're not telling the truth. And that's what two girls have said to me. And the council, just all they do is brand people racist when they talk about it. Well, you won't be saying that to me in council when I'm in there next year. Promise you. Promise you. They won't be saying nothing like that to me, because they'll get my solicitors on them and they'll be going through courts. That's what'll happen to them. Stinking scumbags. Honestly. Can't believe. Good job on the council chamber now has a big barrier around it, because they don't like taking criticism off members of the public. And that's what's in that council, a big barrier surrounding them all. Who do they think they are? That barrier is a divide between them and the members of the public. So how are they ever going to get any togetherness in Oldham? It's not going to work. Political correctness runs rife. They won't say nothing because they're afraid of being called racist. The biggest thing of ever in this child grooming scandal. Okay, now, honestly. Couldn't make it up in that council. White people scared to be... afraid to be called racist, don't want to upset minority communities. Well, you better start upsetting them. Just let them run riot in our town and rape all our girls. Stinking scumbags, honestly. Oh. I'm sorry it's a bit loud, guys. Big John's here and I'm outside the Queen Elizabeth Hall, where tonight, somewhere in one of them rooms, they're having a council meeting over that CSE report. I do feel sorry for some of the councillors, because there's nothing to do with it. They weren't here at the time when all were being signed off, but they're getting the flack. And so they should. And so they should. The council's supposed to represent the community of Oldham, and they don't represent it. They just look after themselves with a big fat pay rise they got last month. Yeah, Oldham is the most deprived, poverty, politically correct town in Oldham. 3 of the wards in Oldham are the most poorest in the country. Let me tell you that. And there's just two other wards in Great Britain that are poorer. Tower Hamlets and Hackney. And the next 3 are from Oldham. Yet they get a pay rise. 26 years, Councillor Abdul-Jabbar, MBE or OBE or something, and he's just run his ward coldest into the ground. How do I know? I lived there for 30 years, that's why. Stinking council, honestly. They couldn't look after a creche, these lot. They couldn't look after a nursery creche without some scandal or something like that. I wouldn't want them to look after a nursery creche. What am I going on about? Oh. So, obviously, I've got a political party going, National Housing Party UK. We're not politically correct, and if a spade's done the job, it's a spade. We don't call it a fork. That's us. And we're going to show the council I'm backstabbing, hypocritical, shite. They couldn't manage anything. They've got people in the wrong positions. 50% of employees won't even tell people they work at Oldham Council. It's that crap. Honestly. 50%. It's what the Oldham Times says. I'm just repeating what I've seen. 50% said they won't work for the council. Harassment, bullying, racism, discrimination, that's all in Oldham Council. So no wonder they can't run the town. No wonder. Honestly, to all you politically correct councillors, you better start calling a spade and stop calling it a fork. It just doesn't work. And you just take the piss out of the Oldham people and start calling them politically correct names. Who do you think you are, honestly? Who do you think you are? You won't last 2 minutes on coldest. You wouldn't. You'd probably get shot going up Henshaw Street. Biggest crime area in Oldham, one of the worst in Greater Manchester. Fact. Why do people vote Labour Party in who support paedophiles and the Conservatives as well? They don't do nothing, so they must support paedophiles. So that's 2 girls who contacted me, one's contacted Raja Mia. We estimate there's hundreds of girls in Oldham who've been abused and no one's done nothing for them. Police haven't done nothing for them. Social services haven't done nothing for them. The council just close their eyes and look down because they're afraid of being called politically correct names. Big John will tell you straight. And there's no fear. I don't hide behind a mask. I don't hide behind any other body or anything like that. I'm here, as you see me. I speak factual things. If you'd like to come on and debate me over anything I've said, please email me. Never had anybody come forward yet. A couple of people might have said something on Facebook. I don't get involved in the shit business going and slagging people off unless they've done something wrong and it's the council. I don't get involved in falling out with people over shit things. Don't do anything like that, me. Honest as honest can be. So what else do we know about Shabir Ahmed? So when the 3 girls scandal come out, if people would have just read the report, they would have known of the links between him and Oldham. I did. And since that report come out, 5 years ago, I've been saying the same thing. He had links to Oldham Council. They've been shagging, raping girls on Yorkshire Street above them shops. I've been down there, guys. I've been down there and showed you. A Guardian journalist did an email about shishi bars and child sexual exploitation going on above them, which got blown over because they didn't want to upset anybody because Lee Rigby had just been his head chopped off in London. So they didn't want to upset anyone, so they never brought it forward. I've always said this, the Labour Party do not deal with these issues. If they dealt with these issues years ago, we wouldn't be in the situation we're in now. And if anyone doubts that, please come on my stream and tell me. Don't call me names. Next person calls me names, you'll be blocked. So Billy's told me a lot of stuff from PAG UK, and he's been telling me for 2-3 years about the links of Shabir Ahmed, Oldham Council, Rochdale, the taxi drivers all over these 2 areas as well, honestly. But, you know, nobody's done nothing. Everybody knew, but nobody did nothing. They did nothing for a couple of reasons. They didn't want to be branded any names if they pointed out minority communities. They did it because they want to look after the vote block, which Labour get a lot of votes off the Muslim community. And I don't believe that the voting for Labour, when Keir Starmer can't tell you the definition of a woman. He can't. He cannot tell you the definition of a woman, and people vote for that party. That party are pushing identity, gender identity politics into our kids, and it's no good. It's messing them up. They're ending up with mental health issues. Nobody does nothing. Nobody says nothing. We haven't got decent social working case in Oldham. We've got no decent social work, because otherwise they wouldn't have let them girls get abused, would they? Okay, now, honestly. I spit on that council all day long, guys, all day long. I won't hold back. Big John will tell you just how it is. You just couldn't make it up. You couldn't make it up. I'm gonna go and have a visit with Billy. I might get him on a stream, and we'll talk about Shabir Daddy Ahmed, biggest rape guy going, and everyone knew, and they signed him up to be a taxi driver while he was under investigation for child sexual exploitation. That's Oldham Council. Okay, now, honestly, you know, we expect just the basic things to look after our kids, and they're all thrown out the window. They're all thrown out the window for whatever reason you think. They're all thrown out of the window. Not good enough, guys. It really isn't good enough. It really is not good enough. I'm just checking on my mum. She could probably hear me as well with my big voice. Mum knows my voice and she can hear me. She's parked up just up there. But yeah, so So I emailed a question in and I asked, is there going to be any convictions for people in the council or the police? I expect there won't be, because Rotherham report has come out and no one's been convicted there. So 250 complaints against police of 50 people in Rotherham, and no one has been held accountable. Honestly, it's just so shocking. But, you know, most of the people in Oldham won't be doing anything. Everybody in Oldham should be outside this Queen Elizabeth Hall tonight, everyone. But no, they're not. And plenty of them people are politically correct. They won't even dare say anything because they'll get cancelled or attacked for saying something. Well, Big John will say it. If anyone's big enough, think they can come and take me on my emails there. And I'll even, if you feel that bad, I'll even organise in a year some boxing thing, and I'll just box your lights out. Honestly, either debate me, let me debate you out, debate you off the platform, or get in the boxing ring. Just them two choices, really. We want people in Oldham to vote. 22% of Oldham voted in the last election. 22%. It's nothing. There's 7,500 in the electorate there, and 2,000 people voted. So if you voted, we'd have this council swapped, kicked out, and we'd have better people managing it. I would have Paul the Boots me managing that council in there on the board. He's one person I have right now, and I could probably say another dozen or so independents who I'd rather have on that council committee, and that, who will do the job properly. They won't be feigned by block voting. They won't be feigned by the bigness of the political party pushing all the crap on us. Honestly, in Oldham, people vote the Labour Party in. The Labour Party, the Keir Starmer, can't even tell you the definition of a woman. Can't tell you the definition of a woman. You vote them people in to the council. Honestly, I just don't get it. Are you all thick or something? Are you all thick? You know what I mean? It can't even tell you the definition of a woman, which is adult, human, female, and people have voted the Labour Party in. You're mad. You're mad. Everyone in Oldham is mad who votes the Labour Party in, including minority communities. They're only sending your kids so they're going to get 100 genders when they come out of school. Oh, you just couldn't make it up. Big Johnny at NHPUK TV live outside Oldham, Queen Elizabeth Hall. I've been absolutely mouthing my mouth off, and I've not been calming it down or anything, and I'm giving out all the ammunition. Well, Gemma, I'm not a different bird or part of the same wings. NHPUK me. If a spade is a spade, that's what it will call. You'll never get me calling it a fork. That's why you should vote for me. We want to stop the destruction of British history that's going on all around us. No one's doing nothing. They're telling us lies. They're putting books in children's schools that don't tell the truth. Watch more on that. Black and British. Big John's doing Black and British. And when you watch my programme, you see the lies that are pressed into children's books and things like that. And when I get on the council, I'm going after all these things, guys. I'm going after them all. But obviously, I'm on universal credit. I've started my own political party, which is a bit more than what other people have done. And I want some donations. Bank details are rolling across the bottom there. I've got another 5,000 flyers to set up for Oldham. I'm on about 120 quid at the moment. And we're going to get them 5,000 out. And then we're going to get another 5,000 out on the last month of voting. So join the NHPUK, stand up and be a councillor, and and vote. I want people to vote. Even if you don't like me, you don't like me politics, get off your ass and vote, because not enough people vote. And I've always said this, mate, I don't care your politics. Obviously, I want you to agree with me, but if you don't, but still go out and vote, please. Please, and that goes to all the electorate in Oldham, all the electorate. But yeah, so let me tell you, Oldham, so four areas in Oldham are the poorest in the country. The two above it is Tower Hamlets and Hackney. Yeah, the council leader in Coldus has got an MBE. What? For making his ward the poorest in the country. Honestly, we need to get some priorities right here about who we give awards to and who gets stepped up. And I'll tell you straight, me, if you think you're going to disagree with me, please come to Queen Elizabeth Hall. I'll be here for another 30 minutes and we'll have it out. I'll debate you. Honest, that stinking council. Feel like fucking. I'm angry. I'm angry today, guys. You won't believe the stuff that Billy's been telling me. And it's just upsetting the way that they've treated these girls. Two of them contacted me, and I know the families. Oh, it's awful. It's awful. Mommy, I'm here. Have you heard me shouting? Did you hear me shouting? Did you hear me shouting? You. I thought you might have heard me shouting. So yeah, in Oldham, we just give out MBEs to people who make the wards the poorest ward in country. Abdul Jabbar's been on that ward 26 years and he's brought it downhill. So Coldus now is in the top 5 of poorest areas, deprived areas, most poverty areas in the United Kingdom. And the guy's got an OBE. You couldn't make it up, this council. And really, that is diversity, that. They only give it him to make him feel good. Not that he's done anything good at all. And I say that to every stinking person on council, I tell you. No, it's all right, Mum. You don't have to be sorry. You get your foot up. That's it. You can watch me, listen to me gaffing on, Mum, yeah? My mammy Pat's, we've just had pie, chips and gravy at Lever's Chippy. Lever's Chippy, it's a chippy in Oldham. It's open during the day, but there is no chippies at the night time. You got stinking, sweaty chicken houses. And just about 2 miles towards Ashton Road roundabout, place was shut down that did chicken. It's already been warned before to shut down, but it carried on, and it's doing snidey, dirty chicken. Honestly, oh. So who's involved in the council in that area? They give a license to some guy down Chadderton who was just dumping his waste down a drain in the ground. That they give a license for him to do food. Honestly, oh. You don't have to be sorry, Mum, for anything, you. Everyone else has to say sorry to you and has to bend down, Mum. Has to kneel before you. Everybody. So yeah, poverty and that in Oldham. It's been going on for, if you look at the Richer Report, the Richer Report states that 30 years before 2000, 1970s, the council weren't doing things correctly. My dad approached the council in the early 90s, didn't listen to him. Then we had the Oldham Bradford riots, which was blamed on the things that the council never did. You just couldn't make it up. And all this is in public. Everyone can see this information publicly. We're having a meeting, first official meeting in London, central London. If you want to get in contact, you'll have to get in contact with me or Pat McGinnis. Email us better. If you're down there, come to the meeting, hear what we've got to say. Me, Steve Laws and Pat are going to be speaking. And we've got a big range of people coming to listen to the speeches. But let's go on more about Oldham. So for the past I would say 10 years, the crime rate in Oldham has spiked a few times. 2017, 2018, highest violent crime increases in country. And just the other month, we've had the same violent, the top of the list for violent crime increases. But I mean, don't think it's just an Oldham thing. It's also Manchester as well, Greater Manchester in general, which has had such a serious rise in crime, especially teenage crime, teenagers stabbing themselves. Remember, I've talked about Reece Tansey. There was Abdul Mohammed, Waterloo Street. He was stabbed by 5 Somalis, broad daylight, right outside 2 mosques. And like, no one's dealing with these issues. No, and I'm not just going to particularly blame the police, but they're politically influenced. So what the Labour Party, the police jump to the Labour Party, and they shouldn't be politically influenced. They shouldn't be the police. They did, after 4 months ago, we had the stabbing of a 16-year-old in Bury. So Bury police, and I talked to the Bury commander at the time, they put on stop and search in Bury Town Centre for about a month or so after that. I don't know if it's still going on now, to stop the kids going out with knives, and it worked. The commander, the female commander, said to me that they caught people with weapons when they did this stop and search. So even though a 16-year-old had been stabbed, the kids were still going out with knives. No one's doing nothing. No one's doing nothing. And don't think that I'm not just going to keep blaming police. Parents have got an hand in this. Parental responsibility. It's no good. It's no good. You need to know what your 15-year-olds are doing. Reece Tansey was lured out of his house by 2 15-year-olds and stabbed something like 12 o'clock at night or something. All white lads stabbed to death. What are your kids doing? Whose kids are walking around with knives and things like that? Honestly, you just couldn't make it up. And I mean, let me get on to Black Lives Matter now. If Black Lives Matter, why didn't Andre Moura's life matter? He was a black Portuguese lad. No one fought for him. He died in police custody after a video came out of him being kneed in chest several times. No one cried for Andre. And I've been fortunate enough to meet his children. Oh, heartbreaking, heartbreaking. And them kids are not going to grow up with a dad. And he was a well-liked figure on Limeside. And they're not going to grow up with a dad now. And I've been fortunate to meet them kids. I nearly started crying when I met them, when I found out who they were. But, you know, we want acceptability and accountability. And there is no accountability. They're just running over us. And when we do say something against them, they just call us politically correct words like racist and all that. Honestly, Oldham Council, that is not going to work anymore, that. It's not going to work anymore. You're just infuriating everyone. But like I said, the council love and know how to divide people. And that's how you divide people, by calling them names when they speak out over rape gangs, when girls haven't been listened to, been abused and all that, and no one's done nothing. And you speak out and they call you political correct names. Honestly, no one will call me a political correct name to my face hardly, because you know what they get. Okay, now, honestly. And again, I'm a real person, mate. Don't hide my face. John Lawrence, 45 Gower Street. That's where I live. I'm not arsed. It's on all my leaflets. Anyone's going to come round, just got to watch out for my baseball bat of the inside of my door and the police being on your case. That's what you've got to watch out for. But I don't hide my face. Never have done. Never hidden behind any kind of poster or banner or anything like that in all the 5 years I've been highly active. And which is a lot more that I can say about half of you lot on here, honestly. I'm sorry, guys. Sorry. That's just the way it is. I'm not making any apologies. That's the way it is. So I'm outside Queen Elizabeth Hall. Guys on the door have been heard me ranting for the past 30 minutes, but, well, They did agree. They did agree that like working for Oldham Council's not on the high list. But you know, it's not my fault. It's what the Oldham Times says. 50% of people do not and would not recommend Oldham Council. I wouldn't. Well, I mean, why wouldn't I recommend them? Well, on the farthest section, they hire guys who are under investigation for paedophiling our kids. On the lowest section, they can't run the town. They couldn't run a creche, these lot. They couldn't without someone falling out with someone and being a fight. That's Oldham Council. So working for the council, discrimination, all sorts of harassment, everything in the Oldham Times, it said, about half a dozen words, all to do with council. And that's bad management, that. Because if you had good management, it wouldn't be that bad at the below. All these things are signs of bad management. That's what they are to me. I have worked in places and been a team leader myself and stuff like that. So I know. So bad management at the top. But I'm guessing half of the people at top can't do the jobs properly or been put in that position because I don't know, diversity or something like that. And they've been put in a position that they can't handle. Oh, honestly, Oldham Council, I'll spit on them all day long, me. We want accountability. I want people in the council convicted of crimes, like signing up these guys to taxi drivers and stuff like that. And I mean, there's a councillor and at least 2 policemen involved in this child sex exploitation, not giving out the names when they should do. There's no law that says that they shouldn't give out the names because they're over 18. So that, I mean, on a legal view, we should be going down the route that you have to name these people, not just we're not going to name them. That's not good enough. But I will tell you this now. If I find out any names, these people were named and shamed online. I won't hold it back. I'll do posts, I'll do videos, and I will name and shame these people myself, which Big John already does anyway. Thank you very much. So I'm outside Queen. I don't know where they're having the meeting, which section of the building they're having the meeting, but I'm outside Queen Elizabeth Hall. I'm furious over the Oldham child sexual exploitation report. I'm not going to say it's a whitewash. I'm just going to say it's the cover-up report. The cover-up report. 2 of the guys who've done the report, one of them is a proper Labour man. Now, how can we trust people like that to do these reports? We should have independent people brought in to do this who are not linked to a political party or not linked to Manchester, and we should have them in to do a report. But we're not going to get that far. I was talking to Billy today, and I can't really blame Andy Burnham. Who I want to blame is the people who were in charge of the council at the time all this was going on. That's who I want to blame. And I want to blame police officers as well at that time when it were also. Sophie's case goes back to 2008. There were no Andy Burnham in 2008, but there were other people, but they've probably moved on. Tony Lloyd, ex-GMP chief, Rochdale chief, whatever. He's a snidey, shady one. But yeah, so I'm Big John here. I'm outside Queen Elizabeth Hall. It's 9 minutes to 6 to start the full council meeting about the child sexual exploitation report that's come out. Yes, guys. Well, I mean, the 2-party politics now, but Gemma, what you want to look into is what you need to do. We need to break up our council. So if Labour don't get control of the council, it's up to everyone else. And I can give you an example. Sunderland. Good friend of ours, Keith. I can't remember Keith's second name. Arlene, what's Keith's second name? Keith Jenkins. He got in under UKIP, and then the votes in the council ended up on the 3 UKIP candidates to say yes or no. And that's a lot of control of a council, that. So we need to break up our councils. I'm all for smaller, more independent parties. If you've got a political party, just do it in your own town, fair enough. If it don't come national, fair enough, do it in your own town. You'll be surprised, Gemma, how many people will vote for you. Even if you made your own political party up like I did. One month I had to deliver leaflets. I never did any door knocking hardly. And I got 174 votes and came 3rd in Hollingwood. That's why I'm confident that next year I'll be getting a seat on council, because there's three seats up for grabs. Need to get my charger. Oh, me mommy. We love our mommy Pat. Oh, me mommy. Are you singing there, mommy?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll put you in the sun in a minute where it's a bit warmer. All right. You're laughing there, yeah? Yeah. Oh shit, I can't even charge my phone up now, guys, actually, because it's different, the Samsung. I'll just do the stream until it runs out at power. That's what I'll do. I thought they was coming over from I thought people were coming over from Parliament Square, but it don't look like it. I'm the only one here. Unless they've gone to the other side at council, I don't know. You all right, Mammy? Let's get you in. I'm just gonna get you in the sun. It's a bit warmer. Yeah, they're all right, Mum, yeah?
Yeah.
Nice and sunny for you there, yeah?
Yeah.
I've got, 11% of my battery left, so I'll have to be going unless I just go on to normal. Right, I haven't got my microphone in or anything like that. So yeah, I'm outside Oldham Council. Where tonight there is a full council meeting over the child sexual exploitation report that's come out in Oldham. What do we know? We know that they've hired people for Oldham Council while under investigation or have got convictions for child sexual exploitation. People in the council have signed documents for these people to come on board. Obviously, the council is politically correct. They want to call, if a spade's done the job, then they'll call it a fork. But political correctness is rife in our communities now anyway, and stuff like that. But that's what it's like. Oldham Council as well, this is where 50% of people said they won't tell anyone to work for the council and they won't have that job again. Harassment, bullying, discrimination, all that's in it. Big sign of crap leadership, the top. That is a big sign of rubbish leadership, the top management. Anybody with any business sense will be able to tell you that. It's, you know, and I'm not saying I'm a businessman, but the basic thing is you get them issues at the bottom, you get people feeling like that when you've got bad management running the council. They couldn't, I'm telling you, they couldn't even run a creche, these lot, they couldn't. But again, you won't want them to run a creche because they're all paedophile supporters. So, you know, where are we going there? Where are we going? I do feel sorry for the council members who are in now, because not all of them are to do with this, but they're all going to get the flack. They're all going to get the flack, even though they're nothing to do with it. They're going to get the flack. And I'm sorry for them, but that's it. It's your fault. People should have said something before and stood up against this. I just can't believe that people vote the Labour Party when Keir Starmer can't tell you the definition of a woman. You just, honestly, it's a joke. And don't think I'm saying anything nice about the Conservatives. I'm not. Boris is a clown. Boris is a clown. Should never have been Prime Minister. I've never supported him. I've never voted for him or anything. He should have stayed as Mayor of London. But he's a clown. But all the political class have absolutely effed us all over these past 2 or 3 years. Remember when you couldn't see your grandkids or anything like that? Keir Starmer, Boris Johnson are all drinking and at parties while you couldn't see your grandkid. And if you would have seen your grandkid, you'd get fined. Honestly, just take the piss. The media, they're all involved in this as well. They're all involved in this. They all took the piss over 2 years. Let me tell you about Oldham. The biggest COVID area was Werneth. And under Arut Shah's rule, she allowed 13 football teams, 7-a-side football teams, to play football. They were from all over the place and none of them were wearing masks. Yeah, you got told off if you weren't wearing a mask in town or you went into a shop. Honestly, you couldn't make it up, this stinking council. You just couldn't make it up. You just couldn't make it up. You all right, Mum? I don't know if it's in there. It might be down the side in one of the other thingies. I don't know. I've just come to the front because it's the front. So if you're going in and ask them if you can go in. There's loads of them in town. They're all at Parliament Square.
They're not.
Are they not?
Really? Not sold. I've been there an hour.
Right.
It's not sold.
Oh, they couldn't have all gone so far. Get out. Oh, so there's nobody at Parliament Square. I thought there was headed on over here, whoever gathered up. And there's about 24 people, but there's no one there now.
Well, and not been anybody there for an hour.
Right. So Big John here, I'm outside Queen Elizabeth Hall. Looks like I'm on my own now. I've been mouthing off at the doors, telling you facts and figures about Oldham. If you want to know anything about Oldham, just let me know. Biggest social care place in the United Kingdom, Oldham. Biggest social care place. We don't put enough on helping our social care workers. I have them coming round to see me. Well, I know what it's like. They don't get enough money. Some of them are concerned about the CAS tax and vehicle tax. These people can't afford to get electric cars. They're not in them jobs where they get an electric car. They go 9 to 5. If you're a care worker and you have a vehicle, you know what it's like. One job, another job. You know what I mean? They've got to get electric car. Honestly, they're all worried about all this. Every care worker that comes to mind is worried about all this kind of stuff. But when they had the social care bill, I have to point out, when they had the social care bill, they never said anything about first cousin marriages and intergenerational breeding. They never said nothing about that. And it's a massive issue in Oldham. In Birmingham, Birmingham has the highest rate of baby deaths in the United Kingdom, one of the biggest in Europe because of that kind of thing. But nobody says anything. Nobody does anything, and, I don't want this in our country. I don't want it where kids die where they shouldn't be dying in the first place. Don't want it. But nothing was said in that social care bill about that. I went absolutely ballistic on Twitter over that. No one said nothing. No one said nothing because we're all politically correct. So that's why. No news channel said nothing. No GB News. Nobody said anything about that particular issue, which is a massive one in Birmingham and Oldham. You know what I mean? Honestly, you couldn't make it up. You couldn't make it up. Integration. The biggest thing in Oldham ever. The Ritchie Report in 2001 said, been going on 30 years before that. the council had a bit of a epic when that Ritchie report come out, but everything's true. Everything's true. Just council are shit and will not accept responsibility for the mess they've got everybody into. Honestly, and they're very good at keeping communities divided as well, the council. And when communities are divided, we can't come together to kick this cunts out, can we? But they're very good at keeping the communities divided with political correctness and stuff like that. It's just dreadful. It's just dreadful. Honestly, I could go on all day, and you can look, research everything I'd say, and I'll be more or less 100% bang on with it. I don't say these things unless they're factual things. So in the 90s, my dad come to council with some other members of the community, various different members. My dad, West Indian, white people, Pakistanis, Bangladeshis, went to council. Council never listened to any of them. And then 6 years later, we had the Oldham Bradford riots, which was blamed on the things that my dad and them other guys said to the council. So it just goes to show you how ignorant and out of touch the council is with normal Oldham people. Oh, now, honestly. Come on, Mum, wave that flag. So that happened in the 90s, but the same things are going on. They've made a European hellhole on Ashton Road, a ghetto, and the Pakistani community on one side of the road and Eastern European on the other side of the road. I'm surprised there hasn't been a war. I'm surprised there hasn't been a war on Ashton Road yet. I've seen people threatening to go and burn people's houses down on Facebook and everything just a couple of years ago. So I'm surprised there hasn't even been a war. But the council know what they're doing. Well, they're supposed to. They haven't learned any lessons, though. Remember, the same things that they did 20 years ago are still going on today, and they still do them. So they're not learning any lesson. They're not putting things into plan. They're not putting new things into plan. They're not getting the committees, the councils run badly, obviously. I showed you that. So they're not doing anything. And I said to Graham Stringer, Member of Parliament for Blakely and Broughton, I said that very same thing, that the Labour Party never deal with the issues when they come. And everybody in the Cheetham Hill Mosque that we're in, everyone agreed with me. Everybody agreed with me. All different faiths and ethnicities, and really everyone agreed with me because I know I'm right. And they never deal with the issues that come to them. The rape gang issue is just one of many issues that they've never dealt with. They've never dealt with. And I mean, we're supposed to be in Great Britain, everyone's British and all that lot. Why do we have any other flag on our council chamber than a Union Jack? I just don't get it. I don't get it. And we've had every stinking flag in the world up on there. No, it shouldn't be like that. You're in Britain, you're British. So we'll have the Union Jack up. But people don't like the Union Jack now, do they? Well, that woman on Twitter, what did she say? It's like a waking nightmare seeing all Union Jacks over at Jubilee. Well, I just don't get it, me, honestly. Fucking hell. Well, my mum's got a Union Jack on, hasn't you, Mum? Get that hat on. Wave your flag as well, Mum. We have a wave your flag. Will you wave your flag for me? That's it, Mum. Wave it. Come on. Go on, wave it. Yes, Mum. Yes, Mum. Yeah, Mum there waving flag. Thank you, Mummy. But yeah, Big Johnny, Queen Elizabeth Fall. I'm hanging up now. It's looking like everyone's made tracks and gone somewhere else. But I'm here, said my piece. People have heard me. People have listened to me. I've had a couple of pictures took. Hopefully they'll say the right thing. Everything I said is factual or been reported by one of our shit media newspapers. Right, so I only repeat what I've seen. It's all factual. You can find out a lot of the stuff that I talk about by going on my YouTube and looking at my social media. Me in the Box page on Facebook's got hundreds of videos on. exploring all the issues I said: violence, rape, gangs, councils, cover-ups, unaccountability, integration. All that is on my thing. And I'm not picking on anyone particular, but it's our council and the leaders who've let our town go down to where it is now. It's not the Pakistani community's fault. It's not the white English community's fault. It's not the West Indian community's fault. It's that stinking council's fault for not dealing with the issues in the first place, which keeps our town very well divided, and it's easier for them to control. So speaking to everyone in Oldham, I don't care who you are, you need to really look at who you're voting for and stop voting the main two political parties, Labour and Conservative, in. They're just screwing us over. 1.3 billion to the Ukraine war machine. 1.3 billion. Just get that out, people, and that is your money. As well as 400 million in aid, and we've got a 14 billion pound foreign aid bill, right? All the while, there's more poverty. Oldham's the worst poverty town in the United Kingdom. There's no housing. Our infrastructure's rubbish. The taxing us with all these green bullshit taxes and stuff like that. But, you know, and we paying for all this. We paying for all this. Remember, you're paying for, actually, you lot, count the taxpayers in Oldham, you're paying the council's wage rise. When the council's wage rise, when they blatantly, Sean Stinking Fielding blatantly called people racist when they said about child sexual exploitation. But it's gone on. It's gone on, and it's come out in the papers that it's gone on, and people in the council have failed everyone. So, Sean Fielding, up yours, mate, up yours. Just hope you don't ever come back to Oldham, pal. Stinking Labour scumbag. Tell them. Tell them. So remember that, what it? Barefaced lies, he said to Debbie Barrett Cole. Yeah, everything she said was true. Oldham Council. A spade is a fork. It's definitely a fork, not a spade. That's Oldham Council. Big John here. I'm outside Queen Elizabeth Hall. NHPUK TV live. You won't get these lives off anyone else. You don't get these kind of lives off other people. Again, if you want to get in contact with me, our emails are there. john.lawrence, at nationalisingparty.uk, patrick.mcginnis at nationalisingparty.uk. I'm not going to take prisoners, guys. Some of you are going to get pissed off because I'll call you lot eventually, those who don't do things, and tough shit. The voting route is a way to go. If you think there's any other way to go, then, you know, you're wasting your time. You're wasting time, and nothing's going to change. Oldham Council are probably, the Labour in Oldham are probably going to be under 30 seats next year. So that means they lose full control of the council. It won't be just up to them or policies coming in. And I want to be part of the council so I can vote against every one of their stinking policies. Honestly, what I'm going to do, what I'm going to bring up as well is, why is the schools in Oldham, primary schools and secondary schools, where the kids don't even learn English properly when they come out? What's that about? What's that about? How do them kids have a life? If they can't get a job and stuff like that, they're going to down the antisocial behaviour route and then into crime. But nobody says nothing. It's only me who said something against them schools. Only me. And a little bit off Raja, but only me. Everyone else is afraid to say it because they don't want to be called racist. The usual bullshit thing they come out with. Fucking hell, honestly. Wave your flag, Mum. That's it. Wave it. Get it waved. So I'm outside Queen Elizabeth Hall, NHPUK TV live. You can find me on Facebook, Telegram, all my links. I'll put me in the description after. I'll fill the links in. But me and my mum have had an afternoon out. We've been to Lever's Chippy, went to Wetherspoons for a pint, met up with Pag UK Billy, Raja and a load of others. Parliament Square, and I'm here outside Queen Elizabeth Hall. Queen Elizabeth Hall, where the council are having a full council meeting to do with the child sexual exploitation review. And I know at least one councillor who's come back off holiday to attend the review, which is Robert Barnes, Conservative, South Chadderton. Thank you, Robert. That's a very good step, I think, is not to ignore it and to get over here. It'd be interesting to find out how many councillors turned up tonight. That's what will be interesting. Those who didn't turn up are paedophile protectors. That's what they are. Because everyone should be in this council, every community leader should be in the public gallery, all going on about this, but they won't do that. It won't. Most of the time, it's not like that. We know it's not like that. But yeah, NHPUK TV, Big John here. I'm outside Queen Elizabeth Hall. I've got my PayPal bank details are up. We've got by next year, me and Pat would have run in 4 elections, and we're looking at getting at least 1 seat, and that's all in 1 year. Now, if you know anyone else is doing any better than that, you can donate to them, but if not, donate to me. No nonsense. No nonsense. I'll tell you straight how it is. Anyone disagrees with me or wants to call me names, why don't you email me? We'll have a phone call. You could come on a stream and debate me, but no one ever does because everything I say's right. Fickles, honestly. Yes, ma'am. Wave your flag. Wave your flag. Are you waving your flag? Go on, wave it then. Go on, put it over your hand and wave it. Give it a good wave, Mum. That's it. Give it a bit of good wave. Thank you very much, Mum. We're going home soon, Mum. I've had enough now, yeah? We'll go home soon. So, yeah, Queen Elizabeth Hall, 70s, I think it were made. We've had boxing, darts, all sorts of things here. Been in myself. Various things and all that, but there's a council offices, but them are going now, and I think the council's moving into Spindles somewhere. We can't afford things in Oldham. We used to have our own Crown Court and our own magistrates. We don't no more because there is no money in Oldham. It's been wasted away doing. It's been wasted away on faith schools where kids don't even speak English properly when they leave. That's where your money's gone. Honestly, you just couldn't make it up. You know, I want every kid, no matter who they are, to have a good start in life. But you do not get a good start in life in faith schools, illegal or registered, or schools that are dominated by one minority community. They don't even the support teachers weren't even hardly support teachers. Didn't have the qualification. Just gone through the minor qualification to be a support teacher, and they didn't speak English properly. So that means them kids are going to go into antisocial behaviour. They won't get proper jobs. They'll be too fit to fill in a CV form, and then going on for crime and all that. It's all linked. It's all linked, and no one says nothing. No one says nothing on them schools. No one says nothing that there's lads, teenage lads sexually assaulting girls in Radcliffe School. No one says anything. No one says anything. It's just a joke. Just so it's never dealt with. See no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. That's what they're like in that council. That's what they're like. Anyway, guys, I'm going. I've had enough. I'm tired. I'm hungry. I've got to push my mum home yet, so that's another 20 minutes, and I'm already tired, but I'll be all right. But I'll catch everyone up Thursday. Thursday's show's going to be on Alexandra Park, Oldham, one of the most dangerous parks in Greater Manchester, and everything goes on at that park. But I'll tell you about that on Thursday. But thank you very much for tuning in. My donation links are on the bottom, and our emails are there. Please throw a few quid in. No one else does stuff like this. No one else will call it out and say how it is. No one does. So please follow the links. I will redo my description after and put all the links into my social media and that. But Big Johnny here, I'll just show you my face. Thank you very much. And I'm outside the Queen Elizabeth Hall in Oldham. But thank you very much, guys. I'll catch up with you all soon. Don't forget, Thursday, 7 p.m, NHPUK TV live. And it's about Alexandra Park, Oldham. Thank you.